And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, it's Jacobs. And he'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, it does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. He'll look to throw. Left side complete, Safarian Jenkins. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
I can't help but laugh. And the only reason is anytime the backup breaks a big one like that, he's going to be hard to deal with in film, wanting to know why he's not getting starters carries.
That's what he's thinking. Great carry there. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On play action, it's Carr. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And here now the offense heading back out there. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles. But also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Being chased out left. He got 29 yards that time.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw here. And the Raiders have got him. Benson Mayowa in there to sack him for a loss of 6. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Forced out to his left, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down. So they bring out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Raiders. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Play action. Now it's Carr. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
The Raiders on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And that's caught inside the 35. On 3rd down, that is a big-time play for the Raiders. 44 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We'll come back here right after this.
Oh, yeah!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16.
6-18.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. And they'll run it here. And he stopped immediately there. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Tavecchio puts this one through. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Throwing right side, that's complete. Demaryius Thomas. 23 yards on the play.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. Now a play fake here on first down. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Now Carr throwing on second down. Going for the deep ball. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. J.J. Nelson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the lead grows to 10-0. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Tavecchio now to kick this one away. Short kick. One of the up mid will take it now. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, as they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Given 30 yards there. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Over the middle, it's Thomas. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Safarian Jenkins has it. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Throw left side complete. That's Gordon. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Steps away. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. He may try and run for this. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain.
And Crosby puts it through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Raiders on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Do you see how fast the safety closed on that?
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Here now, Johnny Townsend. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On play action, they'll throw. Rolling to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And a dump off to White. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 6 yards on the pickup. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end. But running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6.
No. Check. Patriot. Gun. Set. 319.
They're going to look to throw. Buying time to his left. Hard throw, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Down. You ready?
Welcome back now here in London. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
7:34.
Shotgun now for Carr. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on for the 5th time here today. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
To Michelle on the dump off. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
But we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Now they try the right side here. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Attack here, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
The kick by Tavecchio is good, and they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
After the field goal, here's Tavecchio to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And now back out comes the offense. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Wide open receiver complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Give him 30 yards there. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Black 99 Philly. Here we go. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Hot.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Goes underneath here to White. It's a gain of 5, and it's a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Barney.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now back to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field, and it's caught. Touchdown. Josh Gordon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys have made this a 1-score game now. The fly route works for the TD Graham.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. And they'll run it here. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. The Raiders on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Carr to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one.
And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
Gun! Detroit!
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Detroit! Gun!
They'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Back to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
That's a good read there, partner. He sent everyone deep and got them to follow. And that opened up the gap in the middle of the field. He ended up picking up good yardage.
He's back to throw. Now a desperation. Oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. And on the ground they go with the running back. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. On 3rd down, it's Jacobs. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, He looked like one of those guys.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. So that'll back him up 5. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Oakland. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it.